love that skirt, Amy.
Thank you.
That's adorable skirt.
Thank you. For someone, I heard someone around here in the office sells tabby, which is what this is. It's like a tabby outfit, and I got it from my next door neighbor when I lived down in Newnan.
Kim Smith does.
Who does?
Kim Smith, Libby Burger's assistant.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll reach out to her then, 'cause I'm looking to buy some more.
Yeah, I love it. I just love that skirt.
Well, so really, you don't.
Write that down. Forget for them.
I need some clothes.
I do too.
My clothes for the last 30 years were
Nothing
stretch
fits me
pants
anymore.
and tank tops or t-shirts. That's it. Except for when I went out at night.
West
I need to get something to drink.
How long ago was that? It's been a minute. I don't know.
What are you doing? Are you pressing your clothes?
No, I had a stain or something on my jacket, so I'm trying to get it off. It's not working well.
I bet you send everything to dry cleaners.
I did. Well, I mean, not like anywhere. Virginia. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Guy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I saw-
I have a great.
Saw your message yesterday.
I told her you're on. Why is it so cold in here?
Well, she knew that because
Hello.
Cause you
called off.
haven't gotten your-
Buttoned up.
Email.
Oh, God. I didn't get it. I'm so cold.
You did?
I might have to run out and go buy some quiet hope. Not yesterday.
Oh,
You're not waiting
okay,
in the
maybe.
yard. How you sorry?
No.
Oh my. I have to go buy some.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. She hasn't taken out. Freezing. That's why I emailed you.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
She didn't.
I'm sorry.
But I think I'm still relatively social.
Oh my God. That's the geography. It's so good. But I had touched it.
Look,
our Christmas cards again.
I was like, no.
Yeah, they did
Good. I'm glad.
so good. Silver.
Hello, how are you?
You have to? Oh my God. I picked up way too much. I'm so tired, right?
We'll take Rusty.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The one you were doing.
When I was doing it, I was doing
But that, good morning.
You did come back.
Yes, I Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So I talked to Sue, but I didn't say my name. I'm Christy. Nice to meet you. So you already taken your class? You're ready to take your
I'm taking it first off so far, and I'm paying it short, but I take it again on the 21st. I'm taking.
Oh, just the test part, but you finished the class part?
Yes, ma'am. I'm finished.
How old are you? So you're the ask.
I'm 19.
So my nephew, he's 19, he turns 20 tomorrow.
Yeah, oh,
So he's
okay.
yeah, so he's going back to KSU to get started with school, but he wants to be in real estate too.
Okay, yeah.
So you're the smart one starting young. The rest of us all went to the older ones. They have all these awards like 30 under 30 and all these awards for jobs.
I want to see that.
Yeah, how about the 50 over 450 or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It was nice meeting you.
That's what I was-
Picture and everything. Yeah. And like the banner. The banner. Yeah, the banner. So I have my banner so they know it's colored.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wasn't like, you know, saying anything.
Put your hand up.
Not sure or something. We'll say,
Well,
I can't, I was fresh on my box.
buyers and that's
One, two,
Oh. Will you please share what you had to go through?
children.
I actually got some. Good morning. Is anybody more surprised than me that it's the first of November?
Oh, my
How did
gosh.
that happen?
How did November so quickly? All of a sudden it's November. Y'all realize Thanksgiving is a little more than 2 weeks away? Wow. Anyway, somebody give me some good news. Nina and Nina.
I won the tennis city championship yesterday.
Wow.
Amazing.
And the Braves are world champions.
And Atlanta United reached to the playoffs.
What'd you say?
The Atlanta United
Uh-huh.
soccer team, you know, soccer, the thing that.
Unity.
The Falcons won last weekend.
That's
Yes.
They had an 18-point lead and they blew it, but they came back and won it in the last second of the game.
And there's a team in Athens that I think is undefeated, but we're not going to talk about that. 'Cause we don't want to
Yay!
That's all I said.
That's right.
Didn't even say the name.
Guys, Georgia's #1. Let's celebrate it. There's no G's in it. They didn't show up and play the game, right?
That's right. You're
So
right.
You're right, Jill. So yes, ma'am, Grace.
So I went to see my grandkids in London and.
Oh, and excuse me. Say it one more time. What, Grace? Say it one more time.
I went to see my grandchildren in London.
She went to see her grandchildren in London. You see the Queen.
Not this time, she's a little poorly. So that was lovely. And when I was leaving, they said, "Oh, Grandma, we're coming to see you in America." I said, "Yes." So I'll start door knocking when they arrive.
I wish you know my wonderful adopted son, Greg Alexander, he's online right now. He got his license back last week. He's a real good. I will get you some.
Yeah.
Just chill it out, Michelle.
I'm not chill.
She's been at the beach for a week, so she.
Yeah.
Really, guys, but he's got his license. He already has got 6 pieces of business.
Good for him.
How's that? Explain how, because his pop said, Gregory, I'll tell you what you like to, I want you to make 10 phone calls every single day. And he's done every single day, and he's a little bit like me, and he's a networker, he loves networkers, so he's coming into business with 6 pieces of business, because every single day, I call him and say, okay, great, did you make a 10 phone? Yes, I did. I called him one day, and he said, no, I didn't, Pop. I said, so you're gonna do it or not? He said, Pop, I said, I don't want any excuses. Every day, he makes 10 phone calls. Let's give Greg a hand. It's perfect, Gregory. You can say perfect grandson of mine.
They are.
They're so cute. You should have been on the phone call last night. They were not. Yes, ma'am, Michelle.
I was with my 2 perfect grandchildren. This week I got to play pirates putt and go indoor swimming and take walks. It was amazing. And every day I was there, I had raw oysters on the half shell. Yes, it was delicious.
All right, I want to hear, who in here loves raw oysters, Michelle?
I love it.
Who hates them?
I've never had one.
You only hate them because
Do
you had
you like
good
sushi?
ones.
Not do you like sushi? You do, you like oysters. That's it.
But most importantly, we have a guest
I
here
was talking
today.
about guests.
And so I'd like you to introduce yourself, please. This fine young man.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Makai Hurd, and I'm 19 years old, and I'm currently pursuing my real estate career. And hopefully I'll be able to join you. I am going to.
I like that. That's great. Welcome. We're glad to have you here with us. Anybody else want to give us some good news before we move on? Anybody in television land will give us some good news?
Jim, I have some really good news.
I want to hear about it.
After 2.5-year engagement, my daughter got married 10 days ago.
Yeah. Get grandchildren, they're the best things God
Yeah.
made.
And we've also gotten very close with my son-in-law's family. That's a weird word to say. But this week I met with his sister and her husband to list their historic home in Buckhead and to buy a new home.
Wow. I love that, Teresa. That's great news. Well, congratulations on both ends. Way to go.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Mimi,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, so here is my, what you don't do, and here is what you do do. Okay. What you don't do is, you don't forget to pay your Atlanta board, because I was reminded, and my assistant reminded me, and I was just like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll do it. Well, guess what? Yesterday, I'm heading to write an offer, and I can't get into my forms, my DocuSign forms, and it's 10 to 5. Okay, so I wanted to thank Kimberly, because at 5:20, 5:30, I'm calling and panicking Kimberly on her cell. What do I do? So thank you for helping me. So the conclusion is, don't forget to pay your dues.
Let's give her a hand for admitting that. I love it. Anybody else have some good news for television land or here in this room? All right, guys. So anyway, I want to congratulate you guys. Guys, so I'm telling you, the mindset of most real estate agents is what right now? Marguerite?
They're finished.
They're finished.
They're finished for the year.
Because it's Thanksgiving, we're going to eat a lot of Thanksgiving. Then after that, we've got the Christmas holidays or Hanukkah or whatever. So we're just finished. So, I've had a good year. Have a great year. Is that our mindset here?
No.
No. We want to let them enjoy their rest in. We want to get out there and find their business. So, guys, I appreciate you guys because our numbers are up, guys. We had a great October, so that went with us. So we want to have a great November and December both, and then start off the year strong. We have lots of going on that's going to help you get the mindset of start next year with business, which I want you guys to do. That's fabulous. All right, let us move on and let's see where we're up. We're up right now, and Carrie is not here. She's at an event out of town, so she's not going to be online, I don't think. So that's Thomas and Brown, our favorite closing attorney. Now we have got
Reed
Reed
from Silverton. Jamie's not here
Silverton.
today. Yay! Thank you. What we do without Kimberly? Starting the applause and helping with licensure and all sorts of things.
We should look into one of those applause things, like you play the applause thing like we used to do on the old shows.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
like a lacrosse soundtrack.
I like it. We'll look into that.
Yeah.
We all
You
pay
should.
for it. We all pay for it.
Jim will. So guys, I'm Reed from Silverton Mortgage, and my sidekick Heather's back there. And a couple things that I want to tell you about, mainly is this flyer that's on your desk here today. So we are now doing digital closings, and here's what that means. So Silverton's licensed in 45 states, so I can actually help your client in 45 different states. I'm licensed in Georgia, Florida, Alabama, South Carolina, Virginia, and Tennessee. And then I've got other people that work for Silverton that are licensed in the other states, so I can refer to them. But what we're doing here is now digital closings. So here's what's cool is our closings at Thomas and Brown take 24 minutes every time. I don't know how Lon does that. I don't know how it's always 24 minutes, but it's always 24 minutes, which is great out the door. Two reasons that they're that short. Number one, I've been with Silverton 10 years in March, and there probably have only been maybe 10 times where the funding for the loan wasn't there before I got there, before the closing. That's a big deal. Secondly, Silverton does not require a funding number at the end of the closing. So some of you know what that is, where you signed all the documents and the attorney has to scan back a stack to the lender for them to review and approve before they'll tell the attorney they can release the funds. Sometimes that's not a big deal, but sometimes at the end of the month when people are busy, it can be. We don't have that. When the attorney has finished and everybody signed the documents, you can get your check and go. So that makes it a lot quicker. This is even going to make it quicker because the day before, what happens is As soon as the closing numbers have been collaborated with the closing attorney, the client gets an email and they can go in and review all their closing documents. It's usually 4 or 5 days before closing. They can review them all. But then at 12:01 a.m., the day of closing, 24 hours before closing, the portal opens back up and they can actually go in and review and e-sign almost all the documents. Now in Georgia, there are 5 or 6 documents that still require a wet signature, an ink signature. So if they use the e-closing, when they come to the closing table, there's only going to be 4 or 5 documents that they have to sign with a pen and they're going to be through. So this is going to greatly speed things up. It allows the client to review all their docs prior to closing. And if you've ever had what we call a reader, y'all ever have a reader? Yeah. This is a big deal, so they can actually do all their reading before they get to closing.
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I'll buy you lunch, you get the answer correct.
Okay.
Ooh, I said read. So if we're gonna pick between me and Michelle, who do you think will be the reader at closing?
That would be incorrect. I know what it says.
That's right. If it happened to be something that she didn't already know like the back of her hand, she would be the reader. But she knows the close. She knows little documents like the back of her
Actually, I
hand.
got one more question, okay? And this is all, okay? I was talking to an agent yesterday, and she said, Jim, I've got about 4 or 5 VA buyers. And they keep my houses. And the response is, I serve my country so well, why can't I buy a house? Is there a thought process out there to help the VA buyers not to make having a VA loan so cumbersome?
I think 2 things. I would say number 1 is to have it completely underwritten. So they have a loan approval instead of a pre-approval. That is a big deal.
So that would help out.
It says, yeah, the letter that I give says, please note, this is not a pre-approval letter. This is a full loan approval. This loan has already been underwritten. The only thing that's outstanding is appraisal and title work. The second thing is allow your lender, if you trust them, if you don't trust them, you need to go find another lender, but have them call the listing agent and explain, because guys, there really is nothing to be afraid of on a VA loan. If you've got a good VA lender, that's the key. If the house is in great shape, you don't have to worry about VA conditions. I mean, like requiring a repair. If the house is in good shape, you're not going to have that time frame. The VA appraisals are not taking any longer now than conventional or FHA appraisals are. So that's not an issue. The only thing that would be an issue is if you're bidding over ask, because a VA and FHA loans always allow the borrower to bail out at any time if the house doesn't appraise. That's the one thing that I think might scare people.
Last but not least, so can you put in there, buyer acknowledges that if it's overappraised, that he'll pay the difference? Can you put that in the contract?
No. I mean, you can put it, but they've always got the VA and FHA mandatory clause language that trumps
So
everything.
that right, anything that's in the contract.
If they wanted to. I mean, they could say they were going to do it and do it and be okay. But if they said they wanted to do it and then change their mind, they could bail out.
Okay, anybody have any questions? Guys, I have that question.
Yeah.
Y'all know about the mandatory clause language?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Speak, Lord, you're serving.
You did get a no. You got a no.
I did.
Reed, there's no issue with writing that the VA or FHA buyer is willing to go 15,000 over appraised value. Is that correct?
You can write that in the contract, but if the client changes their mind, they can get out.
Well, it depends on the number you put in the inventory clause.
Right.
So the inventory, whatever that's in the inventory clause.
So what Jeff's pointing out is you can put on the inventory clause language a higher number than what you think it's going to appraise for. And he's saying that that would work. I didn't know that. That may be accurate. I don't know that I'd want to test it.
No.
You know what I mean? You probably are right about you, but I wonder if it would stand up.
You know, and I know on FHA, you put that number in there, but
Yeah.
I don't think that number is there.
No.
So there
There's
is
no
no
space
opportunity.
for that number.
Interesting.
But guys, what happens is, guys, you don't know, is that if you get someone who's just a broker, he is not a VA lender, that's a problem. And so guys, knowing who you're doing business with as the buyer's agent and or as the listing agent is essential to know that that person is somebody that does this full time. They're not an online mortgage person like a Quicken. I want to talk about them, but guys, if I have a problem, either one of these two guys right here, or anybody else in the room, or my little back there guys, I know how to call their boss.
Thank the Lord you usually don't.
I haven't in more than a year. Well, maybe. Maybe one of you. Milo, I hadn't called that you what that. Anyway, we're very thankful for what you guys bring.
We're grateful to be here too.
Thank
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love you. All right, moving forward. Thank you once by Amerispec Inspection Services. Come to about inspection services. And thank you for the lunch. For the breakfast.
My name is Derek, and I'm one of the partners with All Atlanta. It's a company, but Amerispec is a franchise. And I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to change it up because there's some new people here. Everyone is smiling. Everyone is cordial and nice. And how did that happen? And I'm sitting here thinking about that. And then we have a saying that I established like 20 years ago because I've been working with real estate for a long time. And I said, if you're working, I'm working. You've probably heard Donnie say that. And then you were working and it wasn't working. And then all of a sudden she's working.
Yeah.
And then I watched an individual walk in with a multi-house deal and ask someone else for help. And I was like, what? I guess are you the one creating this atmosphere in this office? Are you the one creating? How do you do that? Because as a partner, I quit doing inspections, and Donnie and I are more in the office and marketing and promotion and all of that. But I have 4 office staff that I want to create that. I want to create. How do I do that?
Great leadership.
Yes. Yes.
And humble leadership, right?
It's there, but not like this. No one walked through that door without a smile on their face. No one they engaged me. I've never met you. You fantastic. So anyway, I was also thinking, this is part of what I wanted to say, experience with realtors. Because a long time ago, if you're working, I'm working. So when you say that in front of a group of 30 people, you have to come through. So that is kind of the basis of how we operate our business. And so I was thinking, how much experience do the partners, do the top 4 people have? It's 89 years working with realtors. So we know what it takes. We don't know the ins and outs of the contract. Y'all were talking a minute ago about something of I'm not supposed to know that. But I was like, okay, that's cool. But we know the ins and outs of what it takes. If you're working, we're working. When you call our phone, you won't get a live person Sunday between 12 and 6. Usually get a live person that'll go straight to voicemail. Someone monitors that. A phone dings, my phone dings, Donnie's phone dings, and then no matter what we're doing. So serving realtors is what we do. There's 19 of us walking around inspecting houses. So if you're working, we're working. And again, I say this every time when I come here. You said a minute ago, your numbers are up. When your numbers are up, our numbers are up.
Is that the way it works?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
And I say this every time because I check. You're still number 1. This is our number 1 Keller Williams Wade. This is our number 1 office overall.
Let's give it a high five.
Number 1. Because when you're working,
And when you're working, we're closing.
Yeah, that's
right. The foundation is Donnie and I, and we were salesmen, and we don't say no. We don't care, don't say no. So if you've heard no in the past, that was just holy cow, we're overwhelmed. So I've said this in this room before, when COVID came, we pushed forward, we hired more inspectors instead of pulled back, because that's the excuse. My knee hurts. Oh, well, it's COVID. I wrecked my car. Well, it's COVID. we're down in businesses. So we're up also, thank you, overall in our business over last year. And the year before,
But I will let y'all know that last year in 2020, I sold one house. First time I've sold in 20 years. My best friend says, I'm gonna buy this house, and I worth the contract for, you know what I mean? And guess who I called to inspect my house? Their company. I know Donnie forever.
yes,
I know Donnie forever. And so guys, I chose them because they're the best outfit for me.
yes. Well, I appreciate that. Sure.
It's the truth though.
Well, we have a pretty high standard with the individuals that we hire. And so now I'm doing that. So knowing, I've learned what to look for in an individual. So today, our bottom 3 inspectors are better than our mid-level inspectors 3 years ago. It's amazing. You just ask certain questions in the interviews. It's great. And see, and then I see all of your people, for lack of a better term, your people walking around smiling, look, watch that, boom. And nice and engaging, and and then someone said something about shy, and I walked outside and I said, "Sir, shy, is there such a thing?"
Yes.
So, all of that to say, I'm happy to be here.
How big's your team now?
We have 19 inspectors.
So if there's an inspection tomorrow, you guys can do it.
Yes, we have 2 floaters, kind of. They can do other things for us, but if something happens, it has to happen. We have that in place.
That's great.
And if it really has to happen, then Donnie and I will go do it.
You guys, I tell you what I love is if there's a problem with one of the inspections, I call them, it's fixed. It's fixed.
And that's out of the norm.
That's great
That's
to know.
not the norm.
Well, our default is, because I'm involved in, well, I hate talking about me, but I write the checks. So there's 2
That's your
levels. Sir?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Who's that? There's Donnie. He is. There's 2 levels. We screwed up and we're gonna make it right. And then there's a level of, we did nothing wrong. Our report says it. You didn't read the report. I hate it for you. But then when the realtor calls and says, something has to happen. Oh, well, that's another level. That's another level. So when the realtor calls and wants us to do something, we do it. But just because we want to save for our gatekeeper and for us, and we've paid out. We had no. It was not our fault, but we took responsibility for it, and we've done that multiple times. We don't want a realtor to stand in front of a real estate office and say, something went sideways, my fault, their fault, nobody's fault, but these guys stepped up.
That's called standing in the gap. Can we give them a hand, guys? I like being number 1. I like being number 1.
Don't forget your cinnamon bagel.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I was gonna say to Derek, don't forget a cinnamon bagel.
The cinnamon bagels are fabulous. I love
He
that.
said if there's one left, he's gonna take it home with him.
All right, guys, this is us. This is what makes us a little different, guys. It makes it a whole lot different. And I love the white horse CCTs. Today, I want to talk about integrity. Do the right thing. That's the thing that, once your integrity is gone, everything else sort of falls on the side, guys. But always being willing to do the right thing. And sometimes saying, you should not close that house because of this. That's what sets us apart, guys, because we will stand in the gap and say, even though I want to get paid, we worked with you for 9 months, you should not buy the house. That's what integrity does, guys. So that's what makes our Y4C2T so important. Real estate conversation lead gen, guys. This is a little bit of a broken record, guys. It's interesting that the people that come to this are doing business. It's interesting. Now, guys, is it mind shattering every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? No, but it's the consistency that works. You're thinking about what I'm doing?
Okay, broken record. The ones who show up, go up. The ones who show up and are consistent, just watch who gets that penguin this morning and watch who gets that candy this morning. Yeah.
You guys, now, can you do other stuff besides this and do well? Absolutely, I get that, okay? There's not one size fits all, and I get that. Okay, this is available. If your business is struggling, whether you're first year, 10th year, or like me, 38th year, show up because this will help you grow your business. How to succeed in commercial real estate, group coach. You guys, everybody comes to me and says, oh, Jim, I want to do this one commercial deal. I go, give it away. You'll screw it up. You don't even have the tools for it. You guys, come watch this. This is going to be a great class. If you have questions about being commercial, please come do it. And it is on November the 10th from 11 to 12 p.m. Kathy Radler and who else?
And
Janet
Janet
Rush.
Rush. Can I say a little, add to this?
Yeah.
Because this is so important, because people come to me all the time wanting my help on commercial real estate. I am not a licensed commercial real estate person. I give my deals to Dan Fowler or a couple of other people within our Ross group. And here's why. Real estate has been my livelihood for 20 years. I've used it to put 4 people through school. And I'm not gonna do something wrong, get slapped on the wrist because I've gotten the office in trouble and because I've got my clients in trouble because I'm practicing commercial real estate, which I have absolutely no training in or no experience. And so this is why I've asked Janet and Kathy to come, because they're licensed commercial real estate agents. So please do yourself a favor and show up for this class, and please don't ask me for commercial help, because I'm not
Or
licensed.
guys, they will say that, oh, Mr. Commercial Person, you have all this experience. How about you teaching me in this deal, and
Yeah.
we're going to do the deal together, and then you give a 50% commission to teach me, and then teach me for free, and then help me do that, guys. And that's the wrong end also, guys. Please refer your commercial business unless you want to get a commercial yourself. Moving on, the MREA Business Planning Clinic, guys. This guy I heard on the regional call last week is phenomenal. $29 includes lunch. November the 10th from 9 to 4, guys. You need to go to this. If you want to succeed big next year, this will give you a way to do it. And this guy is supposed to be one of the best instructors in Keller Williams. Kent Temple, I've heard nothing but great comments about it. So guys, and it's the Rome Perimeter Center, which is a great place to be. It's about 15 minutes from here, guys. So please show up. This is the Ross you're doing for us. They still got I'm opening these seats for you. Take command of your economic model, led by in the lead gen room and on Zoom. And what's the rest of that? I can't read that. It's too loud. What'd you say? Oh, Carrie Qualter's going to teach us that, guys. Everybody knows that Carrie Qualter knows it. But the rest of the guys, so come learn from her because she understands it well. And that is when, Kimberly?
November 15th, 11 to 12.
November 15th, 11 to 12. Move your business ahead. Also hosted by Barry Walford and Carrie Qualters. It's the MREA book. Want to say anything about it, Barry?
Yeah, so that'll be next Tuesday, a week from today, 11:30 after the meeting. We're going to talk about business planning and end of the year stuff. So that might be a good, if you're going to, Carrie won't be at this one with me, but if you're going to her Monday class, this would be a good follow-up on that.
Guys, I tell you what, most offices right now are not teaching much of anything right now, guys, and we continue to bring you guys so much good stuff. And I hate it when once in a while my 20% says, well, there's nothing here for me, Jim. Well, right there's one right there. And the MREA on business planning clinic, guys, there's a lot of stuff for people at whatever level. So please sign up. Command Labs Day. That's also coming up on Tuesday, November the 14th. And tell us about it, Arthurine.
So this is led by the Southeast region, and there should be a Zoom link. You don't have to be on all day. You can jump in, jump out, jump into the parts that you want, and just learn some more about command.
And is that guy teaching?
Patrick.
Patrick is amazing. Patrick is
It's
amazing.
next week Tuesday.
You gotta register to get the link.
You have to register your feeling, guys. So if you're doing more about command, please do it. And it's got a lot of stuff in command that's autopilot. You need to do this. Mock listing consultation demonstration, November the 12th, taught by Arthurine Johnson, guys. If you need to know how I can do a listing and how I can do the consultation, how I can get my demonstration to be better, show up November the 17th, 11 a.m. from 11 to 12.
Okay, what's different about this one is it says it's a mock listing consultation demonstration. So Rusty's gonna be the agent and I'm gonna be the hard-nosed seller. And since Rusty's very new, right, I wanna take the edge off of and the fear off of the newbies doing it and have somebody who's actually getting listings. Do a mock listing demonstration so the rest of you can observe. And that's gonna be next week.
I love it, guys. Come take a look. If you have another company that's like this kind of training, please feel free to invite them. Sure. Command Happy Home. This is our own Kevin Jackson. That's going to be happening on Thursday, November the 18th from 5 to 6 p.m. Jump on. Kevin will make you feel like you know what you're doing because there are no stupid questions for him. Kevin is fabulous at this. All right, guys, this is a tradition. Tuesday, November 23rd, which is 2 weeks from today, there will be a Thanksgiving potluck. Let me give you, now I'll get in trouble for saying this, but that's okay. I get in trouble a lot around here. Guys, if you wake up on Tuesday and think, I still want to go, I don't have anything to take, just come on. Have we ever ran out of food here? The answer is what? Never. So come on now, but if you can bring something that you love, bring it on that Tuesday. And how do they sign us someplace?
Yeah, I have a sign up link out.
Great. Sign up, but I think I already signed up for something. So anyway, guys, please come on that day. Just come on and bring your kids if you want to. Save the date. Now, guys, if you missed this last year, it rained and we still had a fabulous time. Guys, this place is spectacular. It is December the 10th. It's a Friday night. Tickets for this are hard to get. So, guys, the thing is that you get 2 tickets for you and a spouse and or a date or your favorite friend, whatever, and you can come, guys. It is a wonderful party. If you want more tickets past that, you have to buy them and see Kimberly for those tickets. Is that right, Kimberly?
We're working out the details this week.
Okay, we're going to detail this week. More, stay tuned. But guys, please say that day. That's a spectacular place to be at Christmas. It's not going to rain this year. All right, guys, one of my favorite things. Tell us about Arthur Ring.
Oh, yeah. First listings ever. It's my pleasure to hand these out this morning.
Why do you focus on listings?
It's leverage. It is leverage. We know how long it takes. It's now taking months to get a buyer on the contract. How long does it take to get a seller listing on the contract these days?
3 days.
Hours, maybe sometimes, right? From 72 hours to an hour, right? Sometimes an hour. So guess what? I want to celebrate with, who am I celebrating with? Kimberly? Amy Sharp. Oh, very first. You deserve this. This is our first listing. It's a fishbowl listing.
Yeah. Let me give us first. Tell us how you got that listing.
Oh, how did I get it?
Yeah, tell us how you got it.
Calling Fizbos.
Calling Fizbos.
Yes.
So someone said to you, oh, calling, everybody calls, it does not work. What would you say, Amy?
It works.
It works. Show up, guys. Let's give Amy one more hand.
Asha Bashir, you're online. We have a penguin for you. Dijon, you're online. We have a penguin for you too. Rusty.
Yay, Rusty.
Okay. I have been told that I favor you, and let me tell you, that is not true. Right? And why would you say that? Why would you say that's not true?
Because every time I say something isn't possible or I don't want to do it, somehow you convince me to do it.
Okay.
Some very tough love in your office.
Okay. All right. So he will pop by sometimes and he goes, I love what we do. And then he's off again. So congratulations. Yes. Okay. First closings. All right. Let's go. Barbara Meek.
Let's go, Barbara. Let's go, Barbara.
Greg Morris. Congratulations. First closing. So you get a payday bar. All right. India Maxwell.
Thank you.
Wow, you got a cheering section.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Nick Haynes. online.
Oh, yay, Nick.
Yes.
There we go, Nick. Hey.
Rusty Clark.
Yay.
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 All right, and then we have the October cappers.
And you all, this makes me, proud of anything else because when you wear one of these hats, it says that you succeeded in a tough market. Is it a tough market right now?
Yeah.
It is tough. Sometimes you gotta write 5 deals to get one closed right now, right? Particularly if you're below $300,000, unless you get a listing. So guys, that we get to hand these out and it says that you're at 100% commission. Guys, and so guys, this makes me proud because these people have succeeded. And guys, I'm so proud of them. The first capper is, I love the new son, by the way. The first is Sean Brown. Wait a minute, Sean Brown. I'll do your hat. We'd love to do it. So come on now. Amber Bruder, way to go, Amber. Way to go, Amber. Great. Who else is there? Anna Howard did it one more time. Taylor Ingram, girl, why aren't you here? I'm trying to Taylor. And of course, Brian McGinn has been here longer than I've been here, and he caps every single year. Brian, let's give you a hand, buddy. Noel, you capped. No, she did. I said, no, you capped. Let's give him a hand. Anita and Craig Reisinger, let's give them a hand. December, they're going to come talk with us. One of the things they do exceptionally well is that they work a whole lot with people that need to move from a house into some type of retirement facility. They also call that assisted living now. I don't want to say the wrong thing. And they do that well. They know the players out there. They know where the great places are to go. So they're going to come in December and they're going to talk to us about what that process is like. Because if you haven't gone through with a parent yet, saying, Mom, Dad, I love you, the time to get out of your house, you will at some point. So guys, so anyway, they're gonna come help us understand that because they do that business and do it very, very well. Congratulations. And Katie Wilbur. You do it with 2 little babies at home, right?
Little babies.
Yes,
And
she does.
daycare.
Hey, daycare. Exactly right. You watch she smiles all the time?
We're in daycare.
Look at Katie. And Barry Walford, way to go, Barry.
Huh?
How many times you tap?
Every time.
So guys, one of our coaches here, and what makes it special is he's out there selling just like you. And he's capping quick, guys, so he knows some of the secrets.
Come see me.
Exactly right, guys. Which is good. All right, lessons learned. Let's welcome Michelle back.
My favorite part of the job. I want to ask you all, how do you stop your real estate career abruptly? Other than breaking the law, we're not talking about that. How do you stop it immediately?
Do not pay your dues.
Do not pay your dues. So let's talk about that. I'll have Shelley, you heard her this morning. I asked her to share with you, so you can testify to that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when you don't pay your dues on time, first of all, there's a penalty, correct?
$50 right there.
Okay, all right.
One less
Could
dinner.
you have done that? Yeah. Could you have done something with $50?
Yeah.
What also happens? What gets turned off?
DocuSign.
DocuSign.
Forms, access to forms.
Access to forms, because if you don't belong to the board, you do not have access to the forms unless you want to pay separately, which we don't do here. But it's a little complicated to get it back on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then you also get released from Keller Williams. We cannot carry you if you do not belong to a board. We are all in a board. So what are the 2 ways we talked about? If you don't pay your dues, what's another way? Let's say you paid your dues, but what's another way that you can be dropped with the board? Code of ethics. Kimberly is right. How often do we need to do code of ethics?
Every 3 years.
Every 2 years. Yeah. Oh, they changed it to 3. Thank you.
When you renew
Okay.
your license.
Okay, so anyway, please do not miss it. We probably get announcements or reminders 15 times. So if you, and I hadn't counted them, but if you're not paying attention, it'll creep up on you pretty quick. We know this time of year is coming. The other way that you can abruptly stop your real estate career would be what? See, nobody here does these things, right? Except when you missed something by mistake for the first time.
Look, I'm putting it to
Okay.
2022.
Failure to renew your license. At the beginning of every year, Sherry and I go through and we see who's going to be, for instance, who's going to be renewing in 2022. And I go through each one and say, you're renewing in 22, you've got to have, you're short on your real estate classes, you're short on your license law. Here's the time that you have to do it. Inevitably, there are people that either A, don't read their emails, or A, it doesn't pertain to them. And what happens when you do not renew your license?
Not licensed.
You're not licensed. You absolutely abruptly stop doing real estate business. You cannot get paid if you're in the middle of something until that takes place. You can't write contracts. You can't show houses. You can do nothing. And let's just say you pay the amount, but you fail to do something else. What would that be? Classes again. So it doesn't matter if you want to pay for your license. If you haven't done your classes, they will take your money, but they will shut you down. And we observed, Jim, are you able to expedite anything with Greg to get their license restarted?
Not unless they complete the requirements, no.
Okay.
And I know the commission pretty well, but.
Right. So, I think on an average, we're seeing it taking about 2 weeks for it to go. So can you be out of business for 2 weeks and be satisfied? No, please do. We have so many continuing education classes. Or the Ream gets these things scheduled. There is absolutely no reason that adults can't do 9 classes a year, 9 CE classes, which is 3 classes, basically, a year. Would you want to go to a doctor that didn't do continuing education? So anyway, enough said on that. You get my drift. So if you call me and your hair is on fire and you say my license is lapsed, what will I do for you?
Sorry.
I might not even feel sorry for you because it always happens at 10 till 5 on Friday afternoon. Oh, that's when it happens and there's nothing you can do.
So you know your license, you need to renew your license, like for me, by the end of July. When do I do it?
Well, that's a really good question. Magdalena just asked if she knows she's got to renew it by the end of July. Sometime in July. Do not do what I did. I'm the one that likes to do things ahead of time. So in July, I renewed my license for September, then started taking classes, typical me, and guess what? They did not count. So I took my 9 hours of classes and it didn't count. The state doesn't figure that they took my money, but they won't take. So at least that same month, don't do anything ahead of time. I mean, super ahead of time, but don't wait till the last minute. Good question. All right. If you have any questions and you don't know how many hours you need, there's 2 places you can go check. You can go to Greg and you can click in and it'll tell you exactly what you need, or you can go into FMLS and you can check your CE credits that way. Any questions? No. Okay, in 2022, we will not have that happen, correct? Correct. All right. Let's jump on. Let's go to people that are working with buyers that haven't found that perfect house and put it out there. Be sure and say your name first, say the price point you're looking for, the area, and let us help you. Anybody out in either in TV land or here in the room? Oh, okay. Good.
Okay, young fella.
Whoa.
Oh, stand up and say all that?
And say, what did I say? Say your name.
They can call you later.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, I'm Nina Chopra at Keller Williams, Atlanta North. I have a young buyer, first time buyer, my friend's son, 25 years old. So looking for townhouse, price point will be from 350 to 375. Doing good, first job, I mean, that's a good range, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Looking into Woodstock, Sandy Springs, Marietta, and maybe Brookhaven. I don't think in Brookhaven we're gonna find it. But yes, ASAP, we want.
Thank you. All right, next.
I am Christy Hyatt, and I've got guys looking for anywhere from 300 to 450. Cobb County from Smyrna, Marietta, Kennesaw, as far north as Akron is fine. If it's at the high end, we need a basement. If it's at the low end, we'd like some updates, but please, anything in Cobb you've got coming, let me know. 300 to 450. Or at least 3 bedrooms.
Good, thank you. Anybody else sitting in here?
You got one?
No.
Oh,
I have one more.
Oh, okay.
I have another buyer, Decatur or Tucker. Range is kind of low, but it's all good. Around 250, but it has to be ranch.
Okay, and your name again?
Nina Chopra Kwan.
Thank you. We know Kwan. We're good there. Okay.
I have a buyer as well.
Bit of a comedian this morning, right? Okay.
Yeah. No sugar.
Rusty Clark, looking cash buyer 325 max, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Doesn't have to be updated.
Okay.
Where?
What area?
Anywhere in Cobb County.
Okay. Okay. Great. All right then. Okay. Perfect. Anybody else? How about TD land?
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, it's India Maxwell. I have a couple that is looking in the Smyrna, Marietta area. They would love a single family home with the yard. They have 2 little girls. They are already pre-approved through Supreme. Their budget is $400,000. And again, looking to go, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. So
thank you.
If you have anything, please let me know. They're looking to move as quickly as they can, if possible. At the latest, it'll be March, but if they find something that they love, they're ready to go.
Perfect. Thank you. Who else in TD land? Oh, no, Magdalena.
I'm Magdalena. I am looking for anywhere Aqua Canton. If it was on the water, perfect. If it was on a 1 acre, would be great. Up to 600. Strong financially. 4 bedrooms minimum. Basement would be lovely. So schools don't really matter at this point. And we've been looking for a while for the perfect one. I have another one for a condominium or small townhome, 2 bedrooms, or a condominium, could be even 1 bedroom, something in an Duluth, Sandy Springs, Roswell area, up to 250. We would like to stay towards 200. We want something move-in ready. So if it was a gorgeous 1 bedroom, if you see one, if you have one, let me know. And also I have an investor, 400 sitting in cash, ready to go. Anything that would be a nice flip. Roswell would be great. Duluth would be great. Dunwoody would be great. It doesn't have to be big, just with a potential. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other opportunity out there that?
Hey, Michelle.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, Eric Decker here. I have a seller. I'm just about to post this in the chat window too for online folks. I have a seller under contract and they need, just wanted to ask if anybody knows about a rental coming up. They need a rental by December 1st, up to $3,000 per month. Location is flexible. They need just a minimum 3-bedroom, 2-bath, garden level or a few stairs. It's a senior citizen couple. And yeah, they're just struggling trying to find something that they like. So I just wanted to put the word out there.
How long?
Okay.
How long? How long?
Oh, yeah. I mean, ideally a year or 2 years. I mean, they're they can do a longer rental.
Okay.
Eric, I may have somebody, I may have a condo that they may be able to use.
Okay. I just put my cell in the text chat. Thanks, David.
Who else? Why don't we jump on to upcoming listings? Anybody? PV Land or in the, okay, Grace Thompson just raised her hand.
Good morning, I'm Grace Thompson. I have a listing coming up this week. It's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and it's 2016 in Dakula. It's the Gwinnett side and it's close to the Lawrenceville side. Lots of upgrades, hardwood floors, granite counters, etc. And they want 330, and they prefer a quiet sale if possible, and if possible, maybe a month or two's lease back. They're having a new build. They have to go under contract. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, this is David. I'm sorry, I'm battling COVID, but I have a listing that just went live this weekend, 122 Crossgate, Wheeler School District. It's a beautiful ranch. It has one step into a sunken dining room. Other than that, it's be a perfect house for a downsizer. It's close to Indian Hills. It's in the Crossgate subdivision. It's been renovated inside. It has white kitchen, beautiful. They redid the fireplace. It's very nice backyard. The backyard needs some landscaping, would be the one drawback, but it's a fantastic. It's listed at 350, and just a great ranch in a great area.
That sounds good. Thank you, David. Feel better.
Feel better.
All right. Rusty.
Got a location coming on in Smyrna. That's minutes from Vining, maybe 10 minutes from the Battery, 10 minutes from 285. Great commuter locations, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, about 3,200 square feet, about 600,000. A 4 bedroom, 2 bath ranch out around Bear Parkway, Burnt Hickory area. Probably going to be about a 320, 330.
Good for you. And that's Rusty Clark, the famous.
You said Rusty, so I said.
Well, Rusty, yeah, Clark. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Who else? Anybody else in TV land?
Rusty, can you, this is India, sorry. Can you shoot me a text with your listing details again, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna count to 3, and if not, we'll move on.
Hey, it's Teresa. I got one.
Oh, sorry, Teresa, please go ahead.
So I have a historic 1927 property in Buckhead and Collier Hills. It's got, it's 4 bedrooms, but it's also got a 2-bedroom, 1-bath carriage house on the back. The sellers have been living in the carriage house and rented the front house. And the front house is vacant now and they're getting ready to sell. But we're planning to list around $900,000, but it's a great investment property. They can either live in the carriage house and rent the front or live in the main house and rent the carriage house.
Lovely. Oh, that sounds fun. Thank you. All right. Anybody else?
I've got a listing that it's a cash only investment. It's 561 Formwalt. It's near Mercedes-Benz Field, and it'd be a great rental opportunity for somebody that wants to get started renting. It's $145,000 for a 2-bedroom condo with 1 bath. It's in great shape, and I think it's an easy property to manage. So if anybody's interested in that as well.
No rental restrictions?
No rental restrictions, no.
That's great. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm gonna, if you missed your chance, put it in the chat box. Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back over to Jim. Thank you all. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you, Michelle. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
So guys, I want to talk about what's going on up there that is some of the top reasons why deals are not happening, why deals are not closing. And they just talked about all the shifts afternoon and said that she was having problems these days with appraisals. The appraisals and things they lost pretty nicely on that day with the appraisal, and the buyer and the seller did not get together because the appraisal was pretty low. But I don't want to assume that's the reason. So someone share with me what they hear out there, what you experience, that the reason why some things are not happening, or why contracts are ending. Yes, sir. Russ.
So we did a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch, bid 20,000 over list and probably 30,000 over appraisal. And that's what, and all cash, no contingencies. I've lost 4 offers like that. And it's really about, if you can't make an appraisal gap in that price range, you're not going to get all.
All right, so Rusty, say that one more time. Give us the price point.
The price point was 315. We offered 325 up to 330 on this last one. 16 offers. We had no contingencies, no appraisals, nothing, cash, and we lost it.
So it wasn't that the deal didn't die. You just didn't win the contract because of that.
Right. No appraisal gap. Right.
But you didn't go under contract, though. Were you actually under contract?
We submitted an offer.
No, but the offer was not accepted, what you're
It
saying.
was not accepted, yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so there's still a problem out there, even before you're under contract, getting offers accepted. And this was a $315,000 house.
Yep. 1 bath.
Huh?
1 bath, 3 bedrooms, 1,200 square feet.
Okay, all right. All right, so that's still going on out there. I hear that. And hear that.
So I see, as when a listing agent, I see buyer's remorse that we are under contract, and then 2 days later, oh, we just decided we don't want the house. Is after getting numerous offers, not a lot, but numerous offers. And like, I didn't do my homework in choosing the right buyer. You know, I think the lesson to be learned is you got to ask 1,000 questions. You got to call the lender. I mean, and they just had buyer's remorse and decided to leave.
Okay, buyer's remorse. I'm hearing a lot about buyer's remorse. A lot about buyer's remorse, that buyers are getting in and thinking, what are we doing? We're buying this house, we're paying for it. We can't update it, do anything to it. And even we can't afford to update it, guess what? Getting someone in to update it can be 6 months. I mean, appliances nowadays, appliances are sometimes running, how far behind? 2 to 3 months behind?
4 or 5 months.
4 to 5 months behind. You just got a new appliance, got the rest of the guys. So I'm hearing that. The guys, buyer's remorse is one that I'm hearing an awful lot about. So let's stop there for a minute. And everyone in here and online also got to participate. If your buyer gets remorse, and don't take this the wrong way, I'm asking the question, don't you miss here. Have you done your homework well enough? You say yes.
No, I mean, right, your question.
You're exactly right. Have you done your homework?
Your question, have you done your homework?
Okay, all right. So is that something you're answering on as the buyer's agent or as a listing agent, or both?
Well, as a listing agent, I'm pissed off at the buyer's agent because I think that they should have done their homework.
Right. So
you don't just go and give me some story. We love the house. We put all these off, whatever the story is. So I feel that, it's like jumping, oh, the grass is green on the other side, and tomorrow there's going to be another. So the question becomes is how do you protect yourself as a seller so this buyer is not going to leave you? So, I think I learned you do due diligence really short as you can, 2 days.
Always take a backup offer.
You're right.
Sellers, always take a
Always take a
backup
backup offer. All right, guys. So, but before we leave this, okay, and I will come back to that, please. Before we leave this, okay, what is it that a buyer's agent needs to do to have done their homework to where their buyer has less of a chance of having buyer's remorse?
And I don't know how you foolproof that, because when you have a thorough, and I know where you're going, it's a buyer's.
Because I don't know where I'm going.
It's a, I do.
Okay, good.
It's a buyer's consultation. It's a thorough buyer's consultation showing all of the spreadsheets, and some of them don't want spreadsheets. Like, okay, you're approved for 250. So let's look at 235, so you can actually go up a little bit higher. And you do all of that, and then you show them property and they're in love with it, and you go home, you write the offer, they're still in love. And you make the offer and you get chosen. And then a day or two later, they're like, I don't think this is the house for us. So what do you do as a buyer, as a buyer's agent? You're representing the buyer, so now you have to call up the listing agent and say, they're changing mind. Nothing that buyer's agent can do, as long as you're comfortable that you have gone over the basics to them. It is the nature of the business. And that's why, as a listing agent, I have 1 or 2 backup contracts. It makes no sense getting mad at the buyer's agent. It's just the nature of the business right now.
Right? And I agree with Nathan, since getting married to buyer's agent, but what could that buyer agent have done though, that maybe would have helped foolproof that? Are you ready to say something?
Well, I was just gonna say, during the buyer consultation, I share all of the ins and outs of how far we are into the contract. If we're under contract, here's your chances of losing earnest money. Kind of go into the areas where they think really out loud about the losses they would take if they change their mind while we're under contract. So that I feel comfortable that I shared all of the ins and outs of, here's where you can lose your money and here's where you can win. And we just break it down at that level. So when we get to that point, past inspection and all of that, okay, you still feel okay because your due diligence ends on this day. How do you feel? Any questions? I just dig deeper at that time, and then I tell them, okay, here's what's next.
Do you bring to the ask them, all right, so tell me why you want to buy the house.
Absolutely.
So they're big why.
Yeah.
And sometimes go back to their what.
Yes.
Yeah,
Remember, you said you wanted to buy a house, you'd be close to your grandchildren. You looked at 7, you not any of them. Is that still your big why? Y'all do that?
All your
Yes.
top 5,
Yeah.
this is what you said,
Absolutely.
you wanted in the house. Is there anything else that's concerning you before we move forward?
Cool. I like that. Michelle?
To piggyback off what you just said, and Brenda, to ask them questions, then they're participating in the transaction rather than being told
Yes.
what's going on. And when they've participated, they've either said, yes, no, this is why I want, and it gives you a better understanding, and they feel like they are part of it. I'm sure that there are clients out there that feel like they just got sold. We're not selling, we're helping them explore.
And I also ask them, if we're doing an appraisal gap, do you have the money?
Yes.
Most
Show me the
listing
money, right,
agents-
Brenda?
Listing agents now want to say, show me the bank statement
right.
that you have the money waiting, and I would too, because I don't want you to get that far in the contract.
Can I share, I'm gonna come back to, can I share a secret with y'all? And we'll go out of this room. Agents will lie to you. They'll tell you something is true and it's not true. They'll tell you they got the money, they've not looked. Now, do they lie to you? No, they just haven't done their part.
Homework, yeah.
Homework, which we're trying to get. Angela, are you getting ready to say something important?
I was gonna say, not part of the consultation, but while we're walking through the house, I'm talking to buyers, I'm asking them to rate the house. And if I see their body language does not match that of someone who actually loves the house, I question them. I don't write the offer just because they want to write the offer. We talk about the house and understand that, is this the house for you? And that will cut down on buyer's remorse. When they're talking through and they're in the house and they're envisioning themselves in the home, that to me is a lot more significant than, yeah, it's a good house and we can't find a house, so let's just go ahead and write the offer. Those are 2 different emotions. And so I'm really in tune and asking a lot of questions to make sure that this is the house that's going to fit their family need, and not just writing offers just to write offers.
And when you get somebody that wants to jump out of contract, would you say you're an agent that's more of a, oh, I understand, there's something else out there for you? Are you one of those that says, wait a minute, this is the house you said you wanted, you said you won't overpay for it, what's changed? Are you the tough love one or are you the sympathetic one?
It depends on the buyer, but for the most part, it's what changed, because we would have had an extensive conversation beforehand where they said this was the house. So now I need to understand what's different
What's changed?
and how we need to redirect our search, because apparently I'm not understanding since this is what you told me you wanted.
And I'm telling you guys, some agents try to be their buyer's best friends. You can't be their best friend. Somebody you gotta say, wait a minute, you're getting ready to lose a great deal, meet your family needs, what's up?
So one of the things I want to say that I see is that a lot of the homes that we go to are vacant. So when you go into a room, I hear a lot of times, oh, it's too small. Well, when it's a vacant home, it will always show it was smaller versus the furniture. If you've gone to a different home where it was all furnished, to say, oh my God, the rooms are so big, I can put a bed here and I can put a desk and all of that. So when I get that response from a buyer, I would say, do you remember the other house that we went to that was furnished? That was actually 20% less square footage than this house that we went to. So I think part of the issue is because the houses are vacant, and you've got to remind the clients the visual part of it is very different.
I like that. Okay. I got anything else that you think you need to do to help avoid buyer's remorse? Because I understand that's one of the number one things that happens. Appraisal, one of the most, anything that you do to help with buyer's remorse?
Hi, Jim.
Yes, ma'am, great.
So I'm working with one buyer who did have buyer's remorse, and it's the only house that she said, I don't need to go and see it. I love it. I've seen all the pictures. Do an offer. Did the offer. We won the offer. No. Buyer's remorse galore. So we got out of it. But now when she wants something, I say, look, I know you need 4 bedrooms. There's no point in going for a 3-bedroom. Your 2 youngest children do not want to be in the same room. So we know now it's only 4 bedrooms. Oh, it's got a lovely garden. You're not going to live in the garden. So I really have to keep winding her back in. And another one she saw she liked. I know her restrictions. When I saw the seller's disclosures, roof 20 years old, HVAC 15, you know, all old major items and sold as is. I said, this is not your house. You would not be able to do these. If these major items go wrong in a year or 2, it's on you. So it's really knowing your client and learning from the mistakes and just being disciplined with them.
I like the word discipline.
I like the word discipline too.
Yep.
Guys, someone's got to be in charge. I don't mean that dogmatically at all. I mean, someone's got to say, wait a minute. You said it's what you wanted. I found the house for you. What's up? What are you not telling me? Well, my husband's not really want to move. Then why are you wasting my time?
Right, exactly.
Why are you wasting my time? Guys, tough love. A lot of agents think, well, I know we've made offers on 26 houses, but we'll go to sell. That agent needs to be fired. They did, because they're not representing the buyer. All right, guys, let's go now to just a quick thing that I think Magdalena said. Backup offer. Now we're going to change thoughts here for a second, okay? Should you be getting backup offers as a listing agent on all your houses?
Yes.
All right, tell me why.
You should not only, if you represent the listing or seller, you should absolutely take backup offers, but also if you're on the buyer side, make sure your buyers also submit a backup offer on the houses that they like, because I won twice in 1 month by being a backup offer.
I say it one more time, Magdalena.
I won twice in July by being a backup offer, because people were putting multiple offers on multiple homes and then picking, if they won 2 or 3 offers, they picked one and they backed out of the others. So, and also if you represent the listing, I had one in Ackworth where the first offer, actually that house had 4 contracts on one house, and 2 of them were because people either had a buyer's remorse or their financing was all crazy messed up and we still had a backup offer in place, or what was the 3rd one? Something happened with the 3rd one. So the 4th one got the house. So never be scared. And if you don't know how to do it, ask Sherry. If you don't know how to accept backup offers and how to keep up with it. And also ask the agents to keep up with you, that who represent the buyers, because they will call you once every couple of days to see if you're still good on your primary offer.
And I love the idea of being a backup offer because you've won a couple of them back lane. I love that idea because being the backup offer, now we used to say don't do that because all we do is make the first buyer want the house even more. But here that does not seem to be true. So that works. Okay, guys, are there other reasons that you know out there why people are getting out of or they're not happy and they change their mind when they have a house under contract? Anything else you can think of? Yes, ma'am, Kristen.
Sellers are coming in hot, our buyers are coming in hot, paying over asking price, and then they want to ask for the world after inspection. They're like, well, I'm paying over, you should have all of this done, and sellers are like, no. Or the sellers aren't willing to do anything, because they think they've got the, best house in the whole wide world. So that's causing friction.
Okay, all right, so it's the problem that, and guys, please tell me, is the problem that the agent has lost control? Or is the problem that the buyer, they didn't tell them, by the way, I'm gonna ask for all these repairs? I mean, is this something that you control on the front end or not?
We're trying to set expectations that we're looking for safety issues or things that weren't disclosed, but in their heads are thinking, but I'm paying them $20,000 for asking, so I should have the house in ready to go condition.
Okay, so will you role play with me?
Sure.
All right, so Christy, now we love this house. We love this house, and man, we paid $50,000 over for this house. So should they fix everything? Should everything be right for us? Because man, we love this house.
Well, Jim, I see where you're coming from, and yes, we want it moving condition, but let's focus on the items that we may not have known about or that might be a safety concern and not the cosmetic issues that can be taken care of easily later. And I've got a handyman guy to knock them all out for me.
But
And not grandfathers,
and that's what?
not grandfathers,
Yes, right.
don't forget.
Yeah, just because.
Because otherwise, I want a new that.
Cool. So basically, you walk them through the process and say, hey, come on, these are the little broken window pane that can be fixed by handyman. Let's not focus on that, because do you ever say, by the way, the seller can sell this again if you fall through? Y'all ever tell them that? Katie, you tell them that?
Someone's willing to buy. I just had one fall through because of poly pipes. The seller refused to do anything about it. Even though they have to disclose it, and they had 2 backup offers, and the next backup offer didn't care.
Do you think your people were wise by not going through with that deal?
Yeah, I wouldn't have paid for that house and having to replace the pipes like that.
So you were like good with that? Cool, great. I love that. Okay. All right, guys. So how many are losing deals over just the inspection? Now, I'm not talking due diligence now, right now. How many of you are losing deals because of the due diligence? They get in and they think, OMG, Rusty.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing that if you, that's why I'm surprised to hear inspections, because we've been doing right to repair, because every time we do an inspection, they doubt that we don't get the offer. So we do 0 due diligence and right to repair.
No.
I say have the sellers fill out the seller's disclosures very in detail, because that will help the buyer, but also you're protected because everything has been disclosed. So if something was disclosed, don't ask for it, or let's have a conversation before.
Yes, I'm getting more and more calls from people saying, we want to go after the seller because the seller did not disclose his roof leak. And I said, if my roof were leaking, I would have no clue, because I don't live in the attic. So I would not know that. That's a very hard one to prove that the seller had actual knowledge. And once in a while I get one, but they hired this roof company, happened to call, whoever said, no, I told him that the roof was leaking. So I get that. Yes, ma'am, Char.
So I have an incident this weekend where my buyer put an offer on a house on Saturday where there were no offers on the house. So it was listed for 540. I said, let's go in at 5 above, it's my recommendation. But he was like, you know what? No, I want to go 30 above. So we put an offer in for 570 on this house, and the seller's agent, a listing agent, I told them, I'm gonna put a clause in here that you don't share this offer with the next offer, just to use this offer to now create this bidding war and increase the price. So that's exactly what ended up happening, because he still did anyway. And we lost the house because he came back and countered saying, I want 0 due diligence. And no right to inspect, no inspection, nothing. And he said, no appraisal gap, just, whatever the difference will be with the appraisal, your buyer's got to be ready to take it. So I went back to my buyer And my buyer was like, well, the appraisal gap, he was very hesitant in all of it. So we figured out, okay, with the appraisal gap, we could work it out because the lender said he might not have to bring the whole difference. He can work it into the loan with PMI. But my buyer was like, I'm not buying this house as is. It doesn't matter that this home is newer, 2008, but the seller's hiding something. There must be something the seller's hiding, because I begged the seller for 1 day of due diligence. I said, give us 1 day, peace of mind. My buyer just wants peace of mind.
Why don't you do option money?
Well, how would that have,
How
he
would
just
that
wanted
help?
zero due diligence. Like, it seemed really shady. Like,
Yeah.
why, in some ways I
How
was
would that
trying to
help?
explain to my buyer that, look, he's got multiple offers. That's why he can do this. But on the other hand, at the same time, why wasn't he giving 1 day of due diligence? So he apparently had other offers that were willing to give him that. And he took those.
Read it.
Well, you guys, there's always, and thanks for sharing, Charlotte, there's always all kinds of things as you look in and go, this may have worked for me. I'm very careful on going into my buyers. My buyers that I had 27 years ago, so I won't share that much as I get they get. But I'm not much in thinking of conspiracies themselves. I just don't think that. My brain does not go there. If the seller decides to tell us something, hopefully I'll have a way to spectrum and spectrum it. And so guys, so do you think you should have done something different, make it real happen?
I mean, I thought of a lot, I called the lender to figure out the appraisal difference, appraisal waiver part of it. So I was creative with that piece. But now, I think moving forward, learning from this, I talked to him and I talked to Derek over there, and I said, I think I need to work out something for this buyer specifically, since we've had this experience, where I'm gonna take you in with me so that we could put zero due diligence on the next contract, because we've already done our inspection.
Here, everybody turn their ears on me, okay? Everybody listen to me, okay? Listen on also, hear Pop say this, okay? This is for you too, Gregory. Somebody is going to get taken to the Board of Realtors, like hanging with last week, okay? Or someone's gonna get taken to court. Because some buyer's gonna say to you, you let me buy that house with zero due diligence. Now, is that what reality is? You have to do that right now? Is that reality, guys?
No.
You have to do that?
No.
Is that correct, guys? So guys, make sure that you protect yourself as much as you can. If they go into due diligence, that you say, well, now you realize this is due diligence and you're choosing this, guys. Make sure that y'all have a great conversation and then document it. I told my buyer, hey, because if you write in a notebook someplace, you document it, that'll be great for you. But some buyer is gonna get mad at us and say, you all let me do that. Does anybody disagree with that?
No, but would it be a good idea for them to sign that document?
It'd be a great job. I agree. Yeah.
So Wiseman, if you everybody listen to his YouTube, which are amazing, the attorney has on it in one of his segments.
Seth Wiseman.
Seth Wiseman of what you should put on the buyer's agreement as in today's market. And one of them is to protect us.
That's right.
I told you so, that if you're buying the house as is, you need to understand what it means. If you're buying the house above appraisal, you need to understand, Mr. Buyer, what it is. And that is in attorney's lingo. So please have it on your buyer's agreement.
I'm just telling you guys, there's a lot of buyers out there and they want these houses and hear all the stories. And a lot of agents just are thinking they have commission breath. What that means? What commission breath means? That means they're gonna get to do enough for anything. You don't care. So you go ahead and just buy it. I don't care. You're paying too much for it. It's a 3-bedroom house. You need 6 bedroom, but just go ahead and buy it because they have commission break. Thank goodness because of our Y4C2Ts, we don't do that here. Right, Michelle?
Correct.
All right, guys. So yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Get involved with the lender. Sometimes it depends on the case, but don't be afraid to talk to us and say, hey, this is the situation. We have that as well, that I don't want to buy this. I want to break the contract. I want to, and they want to hear sometimes after another option. I hear you gave all the explanation, the logic, you're right, but sometimes they want to hear the lender or somebody else. Of course, they're going to hear everybody, but At some point, I have to talk to them and tell them about the market, how it is. You are lucky to have this house. You know, we go all over, and that's the way that we can help as well. Of course, not every lender is gonna talk about everything, but we are there to talk to that buyer as well and help you or help us as well, because we want to do the deal as well. So get us involved with information, and we are aware of what's happening, and we can also keep a hand on talking to the client.
As I will tell you, as much as you can, if you can pass the buck on this to somebody else, please do it. My broker told me I should be doing this. Have a lender call your client, say, you realize you're probably gonna pay more than the appraised value. You realize that. Because if they tell them that, does it take you off the hook a little bit? 100%. That's why I tell you, when you have contract questions, put it on Facebook, it drives me crazy. Because if they're wrong, you're wrong. Call Michelle, if she's wrong, she'll stand in the gap for you.
And there is always a misconception about the different in monthly payments or the closing costs when the appraisal changes. So sometimes you get $10,000 lower and they think that they're gonna say $10,000 for closing, and that's not, you know, it's a percentage on the down payment. Sometimes they think that the rate is lower or higher, half a point, that's gonna increase $500, and that's not the case. So sometimes when we go over with numbers, you know, numbers are real, they don't lie, and they're gonna tell them, hey, it's just $40. You know, the difference of the closing is gonna be $1,000, 800, and they like it. You know, because that's a big misconception out there, especially for clients. They think that that's gonna be a big change.
Having a relationship with your broker, with the loan officer is great. Chris, did you have something?
I would say another area where deals fall apart is hot-headed agents.
What do you say?
Hot-headed agents. So don't be that agent and learn, and like, if the other side is being a pain in the butt, you don't need to tell your client that the seller said this or the seller's agent said that, because all you're gonna do is fire up your client, and then there's a contention. So, you know, yeah.
All right, thank you guys, if you would, Christy, one more time, because that is so important, and we hear this a lot.
I was like, just don't be that hot-headed agent. And when the other side is
hot-headed,
creating
yeah.
drama, don't share all the details with your client, because all your client's gonna do is like, well, if they're saying that, then I'm saying this. And it just makes everybody more contentious. So if you can keep calm, it helps. We can't always, but we try.
And because the other agent tells you their client said that isn't necessarily true.
No, come visit one of the other agents and tell us all about it. Don't take it to your client.
Because we had an agent in another office, asked our agent to call their client directly, and we called them, we figured out that the agent said do it, so, and that the seller was lovely, and the problem was with the agent. So guys, don't share stuff unless you're really unless it helps the deal. All right, guys, anything else that you want to share that's causing your deals not to close? How many are losing deals because of appraisals right now? Anybody has experienced that? Are you hearing a lot about that, Michelle?
I do frequently.
Cool, great. And what do you tell them?
It depends on what side we're on, but you know, if you're the buyer's agent, I'm saying make sure that they know if there's a gap, what's involved. And if they say, well, my buyer doesn't want to do it now and said they would pay 10,000 more, and we put it in the contract, you as an agent need to go, do you have the funds to do this? If you don't have the funds, do not do it, because if not, you are willingly misrepresenting something to the seller. So I'm seeing a lot of that, where not necessarily our agents, but agents where deals are falling apart.
Guys, the better you educate your buyers and sellers, the better for you. And we still have sellers that are moving out before closing, and the deal is not closing. They go, what do I do now? I don't know. Why'd you move out before closing? Well, my agent said I had to. I went,
Well, you know, Jim, let me just say that because of the, you know, in mortgage banking, they must give a preliminary, I could still call them HUDs, but closing statement 3 days before. If you've got the seller and they've got the moving truck planned for the day before closing or 2 days before closing, you better make sure that that has been disclosed, else there is no closing taking place on the day you expect it to.
the good news is that you all do such a good job that typically 90% of our deals, 95% of our deals close that. They all do such a good job. Of course, now Sherry certainly keeps all of us safe. She reads the contracts and makes sure that you all done what you're supposed to do, guys. So we have a lot of fail safes here, guys. So before we close in the next 2 minutes, does anybody want to offer, probably here's my best advice for keeping a deal from going south that's already in the contract? Anybody have anything that they want to close with? Okay, Shelley?
Just keep calm and stay as nice as possible. It doesn't do you any good just getting into a fight with another agent. And if it's the right thing to do is to get out of the deal for your buyer's sake. And they will appreciate that in 100%.
In the end, you represent your client, so you really, your job is to look out for your client's best interest.
Do the right thing.
That's so I want to close on that. That's every time we get involved, usually the agents have gotten sour with each other. Isn't that true a lot, Michelle?
Yeah.
To where one starts cursing at the other one, and they just decide, well, I'll just get in gutter with them. Guys, I've never ever had an agent say, I'm so glad I got angry at her and screamed at her.
Yeah.
In 38 years, I've never had one say that. Now, some of them probably deserve it, but if you have that type of conversation with me, I'm going to get quiet. Why do you feel that? And so tell me what happened. Your mother beat you when you were a child? You know, so guys, you remaining calm probably is the most important thing. Just you running calm. Yeah, that's an important thing to making this happen. And if you're always a professional, then a lot of the deals will happen, because a lot of time when we get involved, the agents are what?
They're fighting, and I tell them, check your ego. It is not your house. You need to represent either the buyer or the seller. It doesn't matter what you feel. This is not going to help the deal.
Or our buyer says, you tell them that I will split with them, and that's not it. And you'll argue with the buyer. Now, if you talk to the buyer, but at some point, that's what the buyer wants. Deliver to the seller. Let the seller be the bad guy. Y'all think y'all are bad guys just because you think, well, I got to stand up for my buyer. No, don't do that. Now, be professional. Say, well, you know, we're focusing on the small stuff now, but it's how important that to you. So guys, it's shut, and we're going to close that. If you remain calm, the most important thing you can do is that you remain calm.
And remember, God, family, business.
Exactly right. Hey guys, thank you so much for the one who came here live and the one who participated online. Thank y'all so much, and have a great week. I love you, Gregory.